Jennifer, I know that you're a student, both you've been a student in an FE college and also now at university. I just wondered, in terms of advising library staff and library professionals, what would, in your opinion, what would be the best way to access information about our library and its services for blind people using any kind of library?
Go on and ask the staff questions about what services are available. Also, a lot of libraries have leaflets, so if you're unable to read the leaflet, you can either ask the staff to send it to you in a Word format or PDF or various other formats that might be easier for you to manage. Not only that, you could also send it off to Transcription Centre if that was allowed, but probably best asking the library first rather than just saying, rather than lifting a leaflet and just sending it off yourself. Also having the information on the website would actually broaden the options for you, because anybody can access the website, internet, and be able to read it, and it's in an accessible format. Then that will be very helpful. So you would use
if you accessed it on a website, then you could use your preferred assistive technology tool.
Exactly, yeah. Like either some visually impaired people would probably use magnification software, or like me, I would use assistive technology, which would be screen reading software.
Sure. So if it's a Word document, then you can access that yourself. Okay. And I know that obviously from your own perspective, joining the library, college or university library, did you have to fill out an application form?
I did, and I would say the best advice for that is you could get the application form again in your own format. I wouldn't recommend Braille, because you can't really write, or you can't really Braille next to Braille that's already on the paper, because you can Braille over stuff and it just gets all mixed up and it's not easy to read back. But again, get the application form in a format such as Word, or even better, get a member of the library staff to actually fill it out on your behalf with you present.
So maybe if libraries had that information on their website, come and ask us if you want help. We can offer this. If you need this information in another format, we can offer that, and that information in your preferred format.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, great. From your perspective, what's your preference in terms of accessing information?
I prefer, to be honest, Word documents, or actually go on the website to check for information. My other resource that I would probably use is to go and ask people as well, because then you could get an answer, and you've got a couple of options to kind of play around with and see what suits you. But yeah, the top three for me would be using the website, getting information emailed directly to me for me to read, or go and ask at the library in person.
Perfect, that's great. And you mentioned, Word documents being one of your preferred modes of access of information. Just in general terms, how easy are Word documents, PDFs, PowerPoints? How easy are these things to access if you're using a screen reader? In your opinion?
In my opinion, it can vary depending on how it's the document or the PDF or PowerPoint's been structured. If it's poorly designed, then it can be quite time consuming and a long time to access the information. For example, if you have documents which do not have any headings at all, or they only have one, and you need to jump to information on, page 4 or page 40, you couldn't really do that without headings, because you'd be sitting there all day using the arrow keys trying to find the information that you want to jump to quickly. So for that to happen, to have information quickly, you would have to create headings, and the headings have to be meanable. You have to make them make sense. Because there's no point in having headings when it's just a sentence of the middle of the text. They have to make some kind of sense to the user. PDFs I don't really like personally, because the screen reader that I use doesn't seem to cope very well with them. Again, there's different accessibility options within the actual software and the programs. So again, it depends on how it's been designed. But I personally do not like PDF, because when I read it down, when I read the information, it mixes it all up. So sometimes it would start reading one sentence and then start scrambling it up with another sentence, either below, above, below or above it.
Yes.
So it just combines the two and misses out stuff, misses out words, or it's not very accessible,
so for
in my opinion.
So Word works for you best?
Yes.
Yeah. And I suppose having the option of having either available, say in PDF or Word, means that you've got that choice?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Going back to PowerPoints, I think PowerPoints for me have been pretty accessible. Sometimes in PowerPoints though, people have like pictures in them, which is no use to a visually impaired person, or well, it may be used to a visually impaired person with some sight.
Sure.
But not to someone that doesn't have any sight at all. So my advice is, if you're going to have a PowerPoint, take out images, or when you take out images, provide a description of the image. If you think it's useful and relevant to the content of the PowerPoint, but don't do it if it's not. So
that makes a lot of sense. If you've got an image in there, because sometimes for some people images can really add a lot of information, but make sure that you've got the equivalent description of what that image means in text as well.
Yes, exactly. Because if you're reading it with a screen reader, your screen reader could actually stick at that particular bit.
Sure.
And then you'd have to try and get past that bit.
So it's
sometimes it can be
really difficult to get past that. That's really, really helpful information. Thank you. What about, in your own libraries that you've had access to, how do you access your textbooks or your journals or any other kind of information in alternative formats? What do you get and how does that work?
Okay, I get a list of textbooks that I've recommended for my course. Then I go to the library and see if they have them in stock. If they do, I say that I need to get this transcribed into Braille for me because that is my preferred format with the type of course that I'm doing. So, for example, I got to the staff and say, look, this is what I need, but I'll need a bit more time for it in order to be put into my preferred format. So the staff would say, oh, do you want an extended loan, which is what I get, rather than having so many weeks. I get like a month or two. And again, if your book is not ready and fully transcribed by then, you can easily just let the library staff know and they'll be happy to change your due date.
So a bit of flexibility is important as well.
Yeah, it has to be, because if you don't have any flexibility, you can't really get anywhere.
Okie doke. And does it take a long time to get access to these, alternative formats, to get access to the Braille versions?
It can do, but what's really good actually is, because it depends how much of the book you need. Sometimes the transcription will maybe start it, and then they'll send you what they've done so far, and then they'll still continue working on it.
So you can get it in sort of stages then?
Yes, because that happens to quite a few of my course booklets and stuff. Not only that though, if they can't do it up here, they can send it down in England somewhere, and there's quite a few transcription centres all over the UK which do take a while to do it, but they do it in the end and you do get it back. If you feel as if it's something that you don't need urgently, then it's not much of a worry. But if it's something that you really need, or you need it in stages, then just say that to them when you're sending it off.
So it's good to be able to offer that option of bite-sized chunks of information in Braille.
It does help, yeah.
Great. Any other ideas or advice for library staff on how to make their information more accessible? I know that we were looking at a few things earlier on some of the other websites, but anything else from your perspective about information, how to make information more accessible?
I think personally, having information on the website is really important. It's actually really vital. But for people who may not want to actually read the information physically and want to listen to it, I think it would be a really good idea to have either videos, but not only that, actually a better idea would probably be podcasts describing the services that people have, that the libraries have to offer. Because again, it gives the person or the user a variety of ways to access information.
Absolutely. I guess as well you've got learners who are more auditory learners. It might be that somebody who has English as a second language or finds it hard to read a lot of text as well. So that kind of option would suit quite a wide range of students, I guess. Right. Excellent. Thank you very much, Jen.
problem.
Thank you for your time. I know that this will be really useful information for library staff who watch this resource. Thank you.
Thank you.